Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Dr. Crypto. I'm Dr. Sanjeev Goel, and if you want to introduce yourself.
My name is Michelle Rodrigues, and I'm venturing a little bit into cryptocurrency.
And we have two awesome guests today. If you want to introduce yourselves.
My name is Khurram Shroff. We're veterans in the crypto world and one of the first Bitcoin miners.
My name is Saleem Moosa, and I started my career off in investment banking. I transitioned into real estate, and now I'm working in the blockchain technology and cryptos.
Awesome. I'm so glad you guys have come here today.
Thank you
so
so much.
maybe like crypto's become the super hype. Like everyone's talking about it, and Bitcoin just hit a new high over 70,000 Canadian. So just maybe tell us a little bit about why this is happening. What is Bitcoin, and why is this happening now all of a sudden?
I think it's important to understand the history behind it. So the history is it was meant to be a way of electronic cash, meaning person-to-person payments, without a trusted central body. And so Bitcoin doesn't have a centralized database where all the ledger is kept. It's a very decentralized database run by nodes and miners all around the world. Mining means taking computing power and putting all the transactions into the next block. Mm-hmm. So it's basically the system did not have faith until now. So if you look at what's happened over the last few weeks or last few months with public companies out of the United States.
Like Tesla.
Like Tesla, yeah. Elon Musk, yeah. Michael Saylor, Jack Dorsey,
Square,
PayPal just did it, and BNY Mellon just said they're going to do custody. So if these big, massive institutions, including the richest man in the world, is investing and has faith in the way the Bitcoin blockchain is running, right. And we see that this is going to have no stopping now because even though it has gone up to $70,000, it still has not seen massive adoption by big players as of yet. And we believe it's going to go on a parabolic rise moving forward. Not only Bitcoin, but also Ethereum. Ethereum just hit the all-time high of 2,000 US dollars, which is a sort of a different sort of a blockchain where you're not transferring only money, but you have an ability to transfer code and programmable money.
So smart contracts.
Right. Implementing smart contracts. And I believe crypto has really grown up over the last decade, or even really grown up. I think it's become a teenager over the last few months. Mm-hmm. And we believe there's a big inclusion of also women coming into crypto, which we've never seen that before. And now we're seeing all age groups come into crypto, professional institutions. We're talking to governments right now. City of Miami just announced a few weeks ago that they will be accepting crypto. They will be paying their people in crypto. They'll be accepting property taxes in crypto. Dubai has implemented a Dubai blockchain strategy, which is that they plan to have all the government functions, government entities on blockchain. Different governments are looking at adding crypto into their treasury. And I had a great discussion with another government recently, and they have all this excess power. And instead of just wasting this excess power, right, they would like to monetize that excess power and turn it into hash rate and turn it into
I think
Bitcoin.
We had somebody on Clubhouse talking about this in Pakistan, that they're using
yes.
extra power and they're now
yes.
investing in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So they're adding it to their treasury as well.
Yep.
So maybe let's just take back for our viewers a little bit about the Ethereum. You were mentioning Ethereum, and Ethereum has traditionally been about mining, but now there's a new version coming out, just proof of stake. Do you want to maybe talk about that for a few minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting what's happening with Ethereum because traditionally or historically it's been a proof of work concept, which is your traditional mining.
Yeah.
But now they're moving to a proof of stake concept, which is more cloud-based, and you're attesting. You need 32 ethers to put up a validator, mm-hmm. and those validators then test the transactions that happen on the blockchain. Mm-hmm. And there's a lockup period for the validators for anywhere about 18 to 24 months mm-hmm. At this point. So that's kind of acting as a perfect storm for the upward pressure in the price of Ethereum, because you're taking 32 ethers, you're locking it up into the ETH 2.0 deposit contract, and that's creating a little bit of a supply shock.
Right.
Because to date, I mean, it literally went live on December 1st, and to date, there's 5.5 or close to $6 billion worth of Ether being staked right now on the blockchain.
Wow.
So it's just created a new industry. And I'm part of CAD Staking Services, and we're in the process of being acquired by a publicly listed entity on the TSX.
Congratulations.
So it's a pretty exciting time for us.
Yeah, you guys have gone pretty deep in this. I think for people who are new to cryptocurrency, it's good to know kind of what is the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, what sets them apart, and how do people get involved in this?
So it's sort of new in terms of how to get involved. It's a little bit complicated. It used to be a lot complicated, but now a lot of exchanges have come about, both in Canada and the United States. So Coinbase is a very big exchange in the United States. So people can go to their website and
just open an account and just use your credit card to buy crypto.
Crypto. Right. One of the situations what's happening is the wallets that are on the exchanges are called exchange wallets.
Okay.
So you are not, in the world of crypto, we say if it's not your private keys, it's not your crypto. So what that means is the crypto world doesn't really believe in keeping their money on a centralized system called a centralized exchange like Coinbase. So those are called exchange wallets. The people who take the money or take the crypto out of the exchange wallets into their self-custody wallets or hard wallets, such as
like a little drive,
like a little drive. There are two main companies out there, Trezor and Ledger, which you can buy from Amazon and secure your own crypto in your own hands and not rely on any centralized exchange in case they get hacked or etc. Your funds are secured on the blockchain in a hard wallet yourself. So there's a big situation happening in the United States and all around the world because non-custodial wallets are untraceable compared to custodial wallets. They have KYC, AML, and they know exactly who has how much crypto.
But these non-custodial wallets you could also lose everything too.
Yes.
Which we have heard about people have lost millions of dollars and forgetting their password on their hard wallet and it's gone forever. Is that not true?
No, that's
apparently
exactly
4 million Bitcoin have been lost forever. Is that correct?
Yes, I mean the numbers we don't know. I mean we know a friend who has over $250 million and he has lost his private key, and it has taken him into depression and possibly suicide because it is and it is sort of like there's a new word come about of it called crypto hygiene, and DrCrypto, that's a very important aspect of people to manage their funds in the future is to have proper hygiene on how to manage their crypto. And proper hygiene meaning keeping your private keys separate from your public keys, keeping your copies of your private keys in a safe in a fire safety mechanism, making sure no one has a copy of your private keys, otherwise they can repopulate your money on another hard wallet and you can get hacked. So there's multiple aspects of managing crypto hygiene depending on the funds you hold. For example, Elon Musk or Tesla, they're going to custody $1.8 billion. Well, right now it's probably $2.5–3 billion, so they made about $1 billion over the last week. So it is, they don't want to keep their funds on the exchange. They want to self-custody it. They're Tesla. And they're figuring out what's the best way of crypto hygiene. Even like our friend, Professor Jim at Johns Hopkins University, we are basically explaining to the students how to set up proper nodes, which is the underlying infrastructure of the blockchain. It's so interesting because Saleem, they're taking a company public on the TSX stock exchange, and iMining bought them over and they're in process. They'll be the first staking service publicly traded in the world, because the industry was just started on December 1st. But what that is doing is it's making the Ethereum blockchain more secure.
Yes.
It is passing the power in the hands of whales like ourselves. And it is also consolidating the hash rate or the computing power with the three big boys such as Google, Amazon, and Microsoft.
Because they're hosting all this computing power on the cloud at these big server firms. Is that what's happening? So the small guy is perhaps was not able to really participate in this proof of stake, because that's probably what's happening, right?
Yes, and it's such a good point, because we started off trying to save the small guy, but it has become really significant that we will be, well, not us, but the entire Ethereum Foundation, and there was consensus between the developers and the mining that they will get killed in the next 16 to 18 months, which is about 350,000 mining equipment in more than 154 countries.
Like, why should we really care? Like, how many miners are out there, and who are these miners exactly? Like, give me an example of who a miner is.
So miner, it's a very different miner who's a Bitcoin miner compared to an Ethereum miner. Bitcoin miner, since 2014, it's gone into the hands of institutions. So you'll see massive Bitcoin farms set up in China, Kazakhstan, Russia, Iran, which control 95 to 99% of all the Bitcoin being mined on a daily basis. So keeping aside miners, Bitcoin miners, this is more of an institutional. There are already two public companies, or multiple public companies in North America, including Hut 8 and Hive, which are publicly traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and they specifically do Bitcoin mining. Hive, I think, does some other mining, but when you come on Ethereum mining, it's very GPU-based or ASIC-based, and GPU-based are these young kids, like 15-year-old, 20-year-old, 18-year-old kids who have makeshifted with 8 graphic cards and created this mining rig, which is mining them anywhere from half or 1 ether per month, which really a few months ago did not have that much value. Today it's $2,600 Canadian, so these kids are making a decent amount of money, but it is a short-lived strategy in terms of 16 to 18 months. And we believe, we know that there's about $5 to $10 billion of equipment, Ethereum mining equipment by these young kids in more than 154 countries. And we believe there's more than 350,000 miners, young miners, who's, they'll have nowhere to go in the 16 to 18 months thanks to Ethereum Foundation and this proof of stake. Why we believe we need to shift to proof of stake is because of the fact that it will open up DeFi, decentralized finance, and dApps capability, because we have to compete in terms of transactions per second with people like MasterCard or Visa card, which are like 20,000 transactions or thousands of transactions per second, while Ethereum is 12 transactions per second in the proof of work blockchain. So it's unfortunate can eat and Ethereum 2.0 and the Ethereum,
you guys are killing the miners.
And so it is it's a guaranteed reality in 16 to 18 months.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, in terms of the comparison between miners and the stakers, staking is a little bit more environmental friendly as well, right?
Yeah.
Because mining does take up a lot of hydropower. Not Ethereum mining, maybe not, but the Bitcoin mining definitely takes a lot of the power. So it's environmentally not friendly. And also the staking now, because it's a cloud-based system, it's a little bit more scalable, right? So there's pros and cons of both sides.
Yeah, when I heard about staking, I thought, wow, this is going to solve all these problems. Right. And then I found out there's nothing comes without some opportunity, some loss, which is the damage being caused to miners. So I thought there's always some pros and cons to everything.
And you being a medical doctor, and so and it's a very interesting conversation we were having before the show. Is there a way that the miners can be saved? and there are a few projects out there, such as Ethereum Classic and other companies which are trying to fork Ethereum and save the miners. Maybe this is a conversation we should bring in those people and possibly have a debate between the stakers and the miners. And there's a big debate happening on the 26th of this month where EP 1559 is being implemented. What that is, it is going to start burning the transaction fees for the miners. So they're going to shortchange the miners. The foundation is going to shortchange the miners even further by burning the transaction fees, and those transaction fees will not go to the miners. So the miners seem to be pretty annoyed and upset at this time. And but these are the guys who built the Ethereum ecosystem to date. They're the one who managed and secured the Ethereum blockchain to date. So they feel like it's a slap in the face by whales and staking, in which it's a guaranteed that for them in 16 to 18 months. Maybe you, DrCrypto, should come out with a way that maybe Ethereum should have a hybrid approach from it. So this is a conversation that will keep on, I guess, happening.
We're definitely in a major area of change. Like a lot of more innovation needs to happen, because you can see that, as things are growing, we still need to think about all the repercussions about these changes that are happening. There could be some downside as well. Like people could be losing their work and their livelihood.
I believe also coupling technology like blockchain being coupled with AI, like one of the guys on our associates who's a PhD in artificial intelligence, and we are implementing project management strategies on our AI. So our AI manages our investment instead of us or our investment team. So the AI makes the decision on if we should do an investment or not based on the information that it has gathered on over our 4,000 different blockchain investments. So it's so interesting to see computer make decisions based on other computers' data, while humanity doesn't really need to be involved.
Do you think that blockchain is a natural fit for moving this forward to AI? Like, do you think that there's something about blockchain that makes it better for AI than?
100%, because it is a trustless system and a decentralized system, so the AI can be pretty much sure about the quality of data that it is accessing and the authenticity of the data that it's accessing. So the decision quality of the AI is amazing because of the fact that the data being fed to it is authentic and immutable.
I have a philosophical question, but I don't want to jump in if you want to.
Well, no, what Khurram is saying, I truly believe in. I think maybe we've all been burned in the past. There's human error. There's sometimes people aren't true to their words. And I think if you have AI, if you have computers verifying transactions, and you have a blockchain, I think for the future, that's much better. People won't get burned as much. People can't get scammed like they may have been in the past by other people.
No, it's definitely not an unhackable, but a very hardly hackable system, because you cannot only, like a central bank of government of Canada, it can get hacked because it's a central database, or a TD bank or any bank in the world can get hacked because they're sort of course they have their cyber security protocols in place and stuff, but they're running a centralized system.
But people always talk about that really nobody controls the blockchain. Nobody controls it, whereas the Bank of Canada controls the Canadian Treasury, or the TD Bank controls their servers, but here nobody really controls.
Well, the miners control it.
Yeah,
and
but no one miner.
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to have over 51% of miners all agreeing
to a particular thing in order for that transaction
to happen.
Exactly.
Which is difficult to happen.
And that's what they call a consensus mechanism.
Right.
So even the changes, at least on Ethereum, is done based on consensus. So what they do is they get the miners on board, they get the developers on board, they get the foundation on board. And the foundation's main job is to set up the inflation policy. The inflation policy currently of Ethereum is 3 ethers every 12 seconds. Right? And miners make that 3 ether, which is generated in addition to the 114 million ether that is existing on Ethereum in ether, and it increases by 3 ethers every 12 seconds. On top of it, the miners make the transaction fees. Right now, as we speak, just before coming here, right now is the most expensive time to transfer any sort of DeFi right now. The gas fees have gone.
So then isn't this a danger to the sustainability of this whole thing, that these gas fees are going up, it's becoming so difficult to transact or so expensive? Isn't that going to lead to the downfall of this whole thing?
Yes, and it is. That is the reason of proof of stake, is that to switch it from the proof of work into proof of stake. But they've shortchanged the proof of work system too, because there's so many flaws in proof of work that can be fixed right now, and they can take the transaction fees down right now, but the foundation is not doing it, and in essence, it's benefiting the whales because the pricing is going up. Unfortunately, all the regular investors are getting shortchanged systematically. So this is something that Ethereum Foundation needs to realize, and I think a group needs to explain to them, because it's being run by 25, 26-year-old Vitalik.
Just on that point, when we first started the company, when proof of stake initially began, December 1st, you could create a validator for somewhere around $21,000, and now one validator costs you around $70,000 to $75,000. Right. So for somebody to put up a validator, that's a big investment.
That also means that whoever invested $21,000, they've tripled their money, basically, if not more than that. And since December. That's a pretty good investment. I have a philosophical question. You were talking about the AI and the supercomputer. Like, is this not the beginning of the supercomputer that we've talked of? The AI supercomputer that's going to control the world or whatever. Like this, what's happened to the blockchain is really one massive supercomputer. The Ethereum's blockchain, is that not one big supercomputer in a way?
Yes,
like all the transactions might be eventually happening on it, and it basically allows multiple other applications on it too, I believe.
Yes. And it is a supercomputer, sort of a worldwide decentralized supercomputer, which is going to get killed in 16 to 18 months. And that supercomputer is going to go in the hands of Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. So those 3 countries will basically consolidate all the hash rate in 16 to 18 months. And of course, the whales will make a lot of money, and the Ethereum pricing is going to go very high up. But the supercomputer is going to be controlled by these 3 companies, who are, of course, big public companies regulated by the government of the United States. So it is sort of going, the global supercomputer is being consolidated into these 3 major companies, which are regulated and have oversight of the US government. So the US government is always been the biggest boy in the world, and this action by the foundation and the staking community and the whales is sort of to regulate these blockchains more better, so that this random cowboyness or immaturity of these hundreds of thousands of miners can be something of the past, and moving forward you have a proof of stake where if you did something wrong on the chain, your 32 ether would get slashed. So there's a financial penalty if you don't do the right thing, according to the blockchain.
So where would China fit into this? Like, why would China allow the U.S. to control, basically, you're saying, the blockchain?
Well,
like, would they not be against?
Well, it's only the control of Ethereum blockchain.
Ethereum, yes.
Right, and in terms of it's going into these servers at these cloud-based servers.
Right.
But China controls the Bitcoin mining, which is completely, the U.S. has fallen behind by a massive leap. China, Iran, Russia, and Kazakhstan are the 4 countries which control 95 to 99% of all the new Bitcoins that are being mined.
Oh, wow.
But majority of the Bitcoin that are being mined out of these 4 countries are being bought by publicly traded companies like Elon Musk are buying it, which is affecting climate change because Russia and China don't give any rats situation about climate change, and now you got the U.S. public companies supporting.
So in effect, they're actually promoting
climate change issues while it's an electrical car company. So it's a sort of a roll around, and the whales keep on making more money.
Wow.
So it is and the miners who are the guys who secure the ecosystem, at least on Ether, Ethereum are gonna get killed in 16 to 18 months. So it's become like an institutional play moving forward than inclusive, decentralized play, which it was always meant to be.
Right. Okay, so guys, we're ending near the end of our show, but I'm just going to go around and everyone just kind of give you. I'm going to ask you for a prediction for the price of Bitcoin or Ether, and by the end of the year, and any other thing you want to say to lessons learned for our audience. So maybe I'll start with you.
Bitcoin, I'm thinking 100,000. Ether, I invested big in Ethereum, so I'm hoping maybe 10 to 12,000, maybe.
Okay.
Well, I was just asked earlier by a newspaper in Dubai, what is the price? When it was it hit 20,000, I had said $50,000. So when it had hit $50,000, they called me again and I said, okay, I believe $75,000 is my prediction, which I said by the end of the year. And Ether, I had predicted $2,500. I think that might happen very soon. So I would say my prediction of Ether by the end of the year would be like 3,500.
3,500, still pretty conservative.
Compared to her.
Saleem?
She's invested recently. So I think Bitcoin could hit 125.
Okay.
And Ethereum might get somewhere close to 5.
Thank you, everyone. This is a great show, and we are going to see you next show for DrCrypto. We're going to be analyzing and dissecting the world of cryptocurrencies and make sure that you're on top of everything that's happening.